WJPZ HD1 Syracuse. C89's got you covered with everything you need to know. And some things you don't. Your weekly dose of news, the way you want to hear it. C89 presents Orange State right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Orange State. Sorry about the little technical difficulties there. The music decided not to play. But welcome to Orange State, and we have a special guest here in studio with us. Syracuse mayor candidate Otis Jennings is in studio with us. Very nice to have you on the show, Mr. Jennings.
It's a pleasure for me to be here, Matt.
I'm Grant, by the way.
You're Grant? Sorry.
That's
Grant and Matt. Yeah, I get it right.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. Great to have you on the show. We want to talk about issues. We want to have you tell Syracuse what it is that you're going to be bringing to the candidacy and to the office. But before we go into that, I want to get a little background, a little history on how you got started in politics. What brought you to Syracuse? I think the listeners would be interested to know a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been here for approximately 30 years. What brought me to Syracuse, I attended undergraduate school at SUNY Cortland, and I looked at Syracuse as a place to live because they had extremely affordable housing, and it was a great place to raise a family. Mm-hmm. So that's what got me here. What got me started in politics was working as Commissioner of Parks and Recreation and Youth Programs back in 1994.
Oh, very nice.
And I was the third longest tenured Parks Commissioner in the city's history, and that infused me, so to speak, into politics.
Mm-hmm. And how did you get into that gig as Parks and Recreation? Was that something you had always kind of been interested in, or how did you get there?
I basically got there by the mayor, who saw what I was doing in the community with young people.
Okay, great.
And he thought that I would serve well as a Parks Commissioner. It used to be, the name of the department was Parks and Recreation. Mm-hmm. When I took over, we decided to change the name of the program, and we called it Parks, Recreation, and Youth Programs.
That's great. And clearly the youth programs are an important part of the city in developing it into a great place.
It's critical.
It's totally critical.
It's critical. If you look at the poor graduation rates in the city of Syracuse right at this point in time, it's approximately 50%. We must keep our young people engaged in very constructive activities and learning activities so that they can become prosperous citizens and adults.
Absolutely. And we're definitely going to get into all that stuff once we start talking about education. But you're a family man yourself?
Yes, I am. I'm married to a very beautiful wife, and I have two children, beautiful children that we adopted from Colombia, South America.
That is great.
Yes.
Doing an excellent thing for the world. That is great. Well, I say we get into our topics. Matt, how say you?
I say it's time to go.
All right. This is how we're going to do this. We want to get right down to the issues.
Right.
Because we could have a politician come in here and say, "I'm the change candidate." Well, that's cool, but we want to hear and everybody
and I'm
is.
definitely the change candidate.
It's cool that you are the change candidate. That's
right.
fine.
Yeah,
but
we got to have a vibe that creates that change.
Absolutely, and we want to know what it is you're going to change and how you want to do it. So we want to play a little game, 7 issues, 7 seconds each.
Yes.
We got a little bell here ready to go. It's right when your 7 seconds are up, we're going to play that bell just so you know that you have your 7 seconds. We're going to start with the very first one. Very first issue we're going to start with is education. So when you're ready, go ahead. You're on.
Education. We are going to improve the high school graduation rates.
Oh wow, that was quick. You don't even need the bell. Look at you. Let's talk about that though. How do you plan on doing that?
First of all, I have to create a dynamic partnership with the Syracuse City School District. We have approximately a 50% graduation rate. 1 out of 2 is just not good enough.
I agree.
Our school system is our #1 economic development engine. If we want solid families to move into the city, we have to improve our school district.
Okay.
The first thing a family looks for when they move into a city or an area is how well does the schools perform.
Yeah.
And the second thing they look at is the housing stock. So it's critical. If we want to bolster our middle class within the city of Syracuse, we must improve our high school graduation rate.
Great. And so, Matt, do you want to say something about it?
Yeah, I did read you said something very interesting that you'd like to go into the schools at least once a week.
There you go.
And now,
I like
what
that.
exactly would you do when you went into those schools every week?
Great question. We spend approximately $350 million between federal, state, and city side of government into our school district. With more than 60% of the budget, the entire budget going towards the school district, it's critical that the mayor has a grasp on how the money is being spent. We also have a $135 million construction project going on with all of our schools. So with that amount of money flowing through the school district, it's imperative that the mayor of the city of Syracuse is engaged in how the money is spent and be able to give a concise report about that. So that's why one day a week, you might say, oh, that's a lot of time, but it's not when the mayor's job is 24/7, 365.
I like that.
You got to be there to
true.
give an accounting.
That's called commitment. And one of the things specifically about education that you've mentioned is you're very strong about after-school programs.
Exactly.
And you said specifically 3 to 8 p.m. you want to be doing, academic, recreational, social, culture programs to get kids involved and to get kids doing stuff after school. Care to elaborate on that?
Well, yes, I think that is critical for us to do. If you look at the crime rate in the city of Syracuse or any major city, the crime rate peaks at 3 p.m. when young people get out of school.
Very interesting.
So the highest amount of crime is between the hours of 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. That's why it's imperative for us to keep our young people engaged. I want to have comprehensive after-school programming. Not mandatory,
Of course.
but for those who need it, we have to have those programs in place
Absolutely.
to help young people take advantage of the Say Yes program to education, which Syracuse University is very much a part of. And if we don't do that, we're going to continue to lose our most valuable resources, and that's our youth.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
That's
I
wonderful.
like that. Quick question.
Yes.
Money for these programs.
Yes.
Where's that going to come from?
Oh, very good question. The city right now has a number of agencies that are already doing after-school programming.
Okay.
What I want to do is just take what we're already doing and put it in a comprehensive citywide effort.
Okay.
You have agencies like the Boys and Girls Club, Syracuse Parks and Recreation Department,
Okay.
that are already established community centers that are doing tutoring, doing the educational initiatives, etc.
Great.
All we have to do is have a comprehensive effort with a number of social service agencies in the city that are already doing it, so we're all pushing in the same direction.
That's
So that's how we would pay for the programs. It's not new money that I'm trying to create.
Better use of the money.
Better use of what we already have.
I like that. All right.
Everything you need to know, and some things you don't. You're listening to Orange State on Z89.